What's up, guys? This is Rob from Ungeek, and we're here looking at Mortal Kombat 11. Now, I usually do these things with Nico, but he's in Japan on vacation, so this time I'll be doing this alone. But that also means that I get to put my own twist to this, and what we're going to be doing today is I'll be giving you my thoughts on Mortal Kombat 11 as a non-fighting game regular player. Now, I play Smash, but that's not to a professional level or nowhere skilled. So I do have some thoughts on the game, and I can't wait to share them with you from the lens of someone who doesn't really play fighting games. Now let's start with the story. I love stories, and the way that this is going is that it's pretty great. It's present day, and I missed so many things with the previous MK titles. We have a darker version of Raiden who borders on tyrannical. Liu Kang and Kitana are corrupted now. So this girl, Chronica, isn't happy with how Raiden has apparently interfered with her intended flow of time and balance across the realms. So, being that she can control time, she sort of messes with it to change it. And what she does now is to sort of merge the past and the present. So now we get our present day older characters joined by friends and foes from the earlier days of Mortal Kombat. You see here Johnny Cage, Sonya Blade, the darker Raiden, their daughter Cassie, and suddenly here you will see various people sporting their old looks from earlier years, sporting their youth from earlier titles. So it makes for a lot of great moments. You have past versus future people facing up against each other. It makes for some nice moments in terms of combat and in terms of story. Like I said, I saw a dark Kitana. Now we have one that's straight up from before, and there's so many callbacks. There's so many old characters that were brought in, that all of these interactions, everyone had their time to shine in the story, and I'm really happy for that. And what I appreciate is that you have solid moments like these, like Sonya looking at Cassie, apparently who's her daughter, and she's the same age as her, and she's questioning why she's married to Johnny Cage. And here's Johnny Cage talking to future Johnny Cage and convincing him that, you know what, let's make a movie called Timequake. It's loads of fun. But now let's talk about combat. Now, for someone like me who doesn't know much, it felt smooth, it looked pretty. Seriously, the fatalities and the fatal blows were just, oh my god, so good. From what I've heard, I sort of did some research, and combat here is supposedly sporting a slower pace where you get to think about what your next move is and tactics while you fight. It's not as fast-paced and as muscle memory-ish with how the other games are. Here, it's more of a think and feel and then move as you figure things out kind of game. So from here, like I said, you have such a good combat, and for me, who didn't know anything, I had to learn all of this because I would just suck at it if I didn't. Hence the tutorial. Now, the tutorial was hella daunting. It was a lot. If you can see it right now, there were various lessons. There was basic, there's advanced. It taught me from basic moves such as like a duck punch, going a front kick and everything, to combos that at first seemed easy, but then I couldn't seem to do. While it felt so in-depth that it was teaching me so many things and it was giving me rewards as I went through it, it did get kind of frustrating at times. As you can see on screen, there were times that I just couldn't get this down. It took me so many tries, and maybe one of the worst things about this was that for each lesson was this screen that just kept popping up and took so much time. It was a bit draining, but like I said, it is in depth for a person who just wants to sit down and really learn fighting games. That tutorial is amazing. So let's go to customization, and there's a lot. It's so deep. There are tons of stuff to customize per character, per character variation. More than aesthetics, which look pretty, and there are so many options to unlock, you could equip certain moves. And I guess that's the part where it kind of gets messy, because you could see here that you could get an XP boost to get you slots, and you wouldn't these sort of like require a ton of currency to do, which is a bit tedious, especially when you just want to level up your main. But that's still fine. A lot of people voiced out, and I got to experience this. Probably the most negative thing that the game has against it right now is the Krypt, and the Krypt is, quirky. Apparently, it existed before already. This is sort of like your little place where you can get your unlockables, where you can get your fatalities. Yes, fatalities and brutalities. I personally think that should have been available already, because you have one fatality available, then you have to unlock the rest, and I don't think that's okay. But sure. But the point here now is that it's so mobile gamey. It's random. Everything is random. There's nothing. Every chest that you encounter in this crypt, you just get random drops, and you also get items like icons, and it's just so gimmicky. And yes, you can speed up the process by buying in-game currency with real money, and I guess that's what makes it feel like such a cash grab. And a lot of people, including myself, don't think that this kind of system has any place in a paid game, especially if you're just hunting down items for one character. Now, there is another way to get customizations, and this would be through the towers. And the problem with the towers was that they were kind of broken in terms of difficulty. Now, as a recording of this video, the devs have heard out the cries of the fans, and they launched a patch today, and it was basically addressing the tower difficulty. But even the tower was it's hard to get customizations from that. And they also gave a currency reward for players, which is great. But I'm just worried that as long as the Krypt system stays the same, it will remain to be a huge negative of the game. And I think that the game deserves so much, especially with how great it actually is. I hope they're able to fix it. I don't know what kind of fix that they'll do, but I do hope they do so, because I can honestly see how amazing MK11 is. And to be tainted with this kind of system, I think the game and the community deserves a lot more, a lot better. So anyway, the game is really enjoyable. Like I said, even for someone who doesn't play fighting games like me, I couldn't get enough of the story. The fights were just eye candy. I mean, I didn't know what I was doing most of the time, and I could appreciate the technicality. But yeah, it was still fun. And like I said, I do wish this game all the best. I do hope that the upcoming patches, if there are more, do fix it. And I hope that it turns out to be an amazing game that fans across the board will just love, and will forget this whole Krypt nonsense that even happened. Well, that's it for my thoughts, and yeah, that's it. Thank you once again for joining me in this very quick look from the lens of a non-fighting game player. And like I said, I love MK11, at least for what I've played so far. If you want a more in-depth look on the game, we do have a review up. It's in the description below. Check out the link right there. And yeah, that's it for me, guys, for MK11. This has been Rob. I'll see you next time. Keep on gaming and enjoy Mortal Kombat 11.